Hello, my name is Jordan Knight, and this is my proposition rebuttal. The opposition is proposing the idea that the ban of sugary drinks in primary and secondary schools would not yield significant effects on childhood obesity. Instead, the opposition believes that the most effective way in reducing the harmful effects that childhood obesity has on the economy and our social welfare, such as medical, production, and transportation costs, is to place limitations, not a ban, on the sales of sugary drink products. And the opposition attempts to reinforce this belief with the following arguments. First, the opposition claims that the consumption of soda in moderation can lead to positive health outcomes, with few negative effects from soda consumption. However, the same article that addresses the few advantages of drinking soda also points out the risks in consuming sugary products in its Point to Consider section. The same article states that a report in the November 2013 issue of the American Journal of Public Health states that the average person drinks 11 gallons of soft drinks per year. With that consumption comes the increased risk of excess weight, obesity, and diabetes. So while there may be few advantages in the consumption of soda in moderation, the assumption that most people who consume soda would choose to consume it in moderation does not seem like a viable assumption. The opposition also makes the argument that there is not a strong correlation between the banning of sugary products in schools and the obesity rates among children. However, as I have previously stated in my opening proposition argument, from 2006 to 2012, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the proportion of schools that allowed soda companies to advertise soft drinks on school grounds through posters, scoreboard signs, or other ways dropped from 47 to about 34%, and the amount that received cash rewards, equipment, donations, or other incentives from soda companies fell from 52 to 34%. However, despite the decrease in funds from these soft drink companies, obesity rates have dropped 43% in the past decade, according to the Journal of the American Medical Association. While there has been an overall increase in obesity rates among children in the last 3 decades, there has actually been a decrease of obesity rates among children in the most previous decade, which occurred following the increase in the bans of soft drink advertising and soda availability in schools. One can argue that the decrease in the availability of sugary products and the decrease in obesity rates in the past decade is simply a coincidence, but this would prove to be a futile argument. Next, the opposition argues that the banning of soda in California school districts have not proved to have any effects on the obesity rates among children in the state. I would first like to remind the opposition of an argument earlier in the speech of how the effects of soda bans will take time to have an effect on the obesity rates among children. And while obesity rates of children are not quickly but surely decreasing, the overall consumption of sugary products, which have other harmful effects besides obesity, will be decreasing as the availability of sugary products is made less accessible. I would like to remind the opposition that according to CBS Boston, after the initial 2004 ban of sugary drinks in Boston public schools, sugar-sweetened beverage consumption inside and outside school fell from 1.71 average servings per day in 2004 to 1.38 servings in 2006. So, from these findings, it can be said that the banning of sugary drinks has a significant effect on the decreasing overall sugary drink consumption. It seems that the most effective way in reducing the amount of sugary products consumed is to ban sugary products in primary and secondary schools. While there are extremely few benefits, the negative effects of sugary products are severely crippling. While the theory of drinking sugary products in moderation may seem beneficial, it simply does not seem feasible.